My name is Jason Jenkins, one of the senior vice presidents here with the Miami Dolphins.
How can a legacy be measured? In trophies, or medals, or accolades? Should a legacy be defined by the quantity of awards it's earned, only surviving in living memory, mementoed by certificates and plaques hung up in a hallowed hall of fame? What if it was measured instead by the character of the man behind it? A man who believed so much in the spirit of serving that one could say he became its patron saint.
What's up, man? How you doing? What's your name? Jason, nice to meet you.
A good heart is a heavy cross to bear, they say. But it is easy to carry the weight of goodness when it is not held alone. This kind of hope can only be sown by compassion. How many lives were influenced or changed or bettered, compounded by his steadfast presence at every event?
You're part of the family now. You're part of the Dolphins family. We're going to be with you every step of the way.
His entire family in tow, who could be a better example of charity starting at home? He was a man so community-oriented that when he passed, his entire community oriented around him, folding back together like pages of a book, all the slices of his life slotting together for the final chapter. What would the highlight reel look like for his story?
We want to thank you for everyone that's here today. We're in Corral C, but we're going to make it an A.
Would it include the kind of single-minded drive he was known for? The kind that drove him to raise the Dolphins Challenge Cancer into the largest fundraiser in the league? Would it include the tough love he had for his staff, tempered by the silly memes he'd create of them, for them? The expectations he had that must have felt astronomical but were never unrealistic. The 110% of himself that he would give every day. What about the way he championed diversity and equity so much that his work with social justice programming became the model for the rest of the NFL? Maybe it would include the meticulously kept notes of any and every possible way to handle any PR disaster, all tucked neatly into a little binder labeled crisis. Or maybe his highlight reel would include the sleepless nights broken by a brief nap, his phone glued to his ear, cogs in his head whirring 1,000 miles an hour, his wife by his side, quiet and steady. Maybe his highlight reel would be his wife.
To me, he's the love of my life.
An NFL love story where romance was drafted from friendship in the length of time it takes for a single dance. Letters and phone calls and conversations without end turned into a love that is infinite and 3 days more. Turned into 3 children and entire dance parties, recitals and laughter and bedtime stories about people who made a difference like he made a difference. He was the difference that propelled his team into the stuff of legends. He was the heart of it all, sure and steady and constant. A legacy is supposed to outlive the life that bore it, until the name of the person is forgotten to time, but maybe Jason Jenkins is his own kind of legacy. Existing in others through love and care, living in anecdotes from people who knew him, all sharing the same common thread, how they felt woven into every conversation by him, the focal point of his attention to detail seamlessly made to feel important. He believed that people are people, and there's not much more anyone needs to be than that to deserve respect. Maybe this kind of legacy, this kind of impact, will survive in his wife, in his children, in the community he worked hard to support, in every act of service fueled by kindness. Jason Jenkins will live forever, and 3 days more.